DJ Ninja B from Boston, Massachusetts. I was inspired from all the early pioneers of hip-hop and the b-boy culture from back in the early 80s. All the early hip-hop artists and artists like Mr. Lif and Acrobatical holding the torch and keeping that underground hip-hop alive. The 10th anniversary of the Brick Records, I was out there and I'd kind of been out of the game for a little while, so seeing a lot of people I haven't seen for a while really made me get a little bit inspired to come back out and try to get into this again. And there's been, I'm 40 years old, I've been into hip-hop since 1983, I started DJing back then, so I kind of did my thing and bowed out for a little while, but once it's in you, you can't shake it. It's not really even an issue at this point, but being one of the white kids back at the game made it really difficult. My first DJ battle, there weren't a lot of Spanish people there, never mind white folks, and it was a little challenging because they look at you and be like, you know, they knew where I was from, like, who's this white kid from Waltham, Massachusetts. And even my earlier 91, my early New York City battles, I had the same sort of thing. Just people look at your parents and be like, well, who's this kid? And then after you get off stage, usually it's a different reception. But it's not really that big of an issue because the race barriers have been broken. But when I first started out, yeah, it was a little bit different back then. I'd like for people to remember me as somebody who just held the torch of, you know, the art of DJing and making beats and carried it on. The style of DJing that I really do is not really seen too much anymore. It's almost a lost art form. So for tonight, for example, there were a lot of people who kind of have never seen my style of DJing. Or on the other hand, there were some people here that really knew who I was and were really expecting to see some, you know, retro, throwback, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, using vinyl, still using records, trying to keep that alive. But after it's all said and done, I just want my name to pop up when hip-hop comes up, especially in Boston, Massachusetts, because I've been doing this, like I said, for a while and trying to push the envelope. The first DJ battle I was in New York City, I let the MC, the host of the show, know I was from Boston, and I got some boos and some not so great reaction, but I was a little nervous, but at the end it was like, oh, where you from? I'm moving to there. So I think a lot of old school Boston pioneers really recognized what I did in the early 90s. So I came here tonight and I said, how do you play vinyl? And the guy, everyone's computer's in Serato, which makes it a lot easier for everyone to be a DJ. So I'm not against that. That definitely takes the art form to another level, but you can't get too far away from what started it. You got to keep the vinyl alive in some fashion. I mean, if you're DJing a 4-hour set, you don't want to carry, you know, 3 crates of records with you, but, you know, at a show like tonight where you're doing a little 5-minute routine, you got to keep the vinyl alive. Keep buying it, keep investing in it. It's an art form. I'm working on an album with a local MC, fellow Walthamian, if that's even a word, Oak Lone Tree, who just kind of came up here early and acted full. And then I'm going to put out my own compilation album, trying to get artists like, you know, Acrobatic, When He Feels Better, Acrobatic, Take Care, We Miss You, We Love You, Oak Lone Tree, Naba Rock. Trying to really collaborate with a lot of MCs that I respect, that I've come in contact with over the years. I have a lot of beats that were never really put out on anything, so, you know, this Acrobatic thing, you know, it makes you realize, you know, you're here today, you're not necessarily promised tomorrow, so I really want to put out a strong album that's really, you know, based on what I feel the listeners should be listening to out there, or a lot of, a certain form of hip-hop where you don't really see or hear a lot of nowadays.